All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping straight into what I think is a truly fascinating tech mystery today. It's the story of a well-intentioned startup that had this incredibly noble dream to just be genuinely helpful. They built a perfect AI tool, literally gave it away, and experienced a massive paradox. We're going to look at why an underdog's attempt to give away incredibly powerful software completely backfired, and how, in a weird twist of fate, a tech giant swooped in and inadvertently brought that exact same dream to life. So picture this. Imagine you spend months, maybe even years, coding, testing, and perfecting a piece of technology. And I mean, it is flawless. It's perfectly designed to save people hours of tedious, mind-numbing work every single week. And the absolute best part, it costs $0, nothing. So you put it out into the world, you expect people to just rush the gates, and instead, you get absolute crickets. I mean, what actually happens when you build the perfect, completely free AI tool for small businesses and nobody wants it? Well, to understand this paradox, we kind of have to start at the beginning. Section 1. The AI Bridge Dream. Free AI for small businesses. See, the AI Bridge Foundation started out with a deeply empathetic mission. They were just trying to be helpful, honestly. They had two primary communities they really wanted to serve: education and small businesses. And the founders laid it out plainly, saying they wanted to give both communities free AI tools that actually work. No subscriptions, no catch. And the interesting thing is, on the education side, this mission clicked perfectly. Teachers loved it, students embraced it. But the small business side? Yeah, that was a totally different story. And listen, it definitely wasn't because the tools were bad. They actually built highly practical, incredibly useful solutions specifically for the little guy. We're talking about a conversational quote generator, where a contractor could literally just talk into their phone and have it spit out a polished, professional estimate for a client. They built a dedicated voice note system tailored just for field workers who are always on the go. They even developed this AI Solopreneur guide to coach single-person operations through tricky business decisions. These were targeted, well-crafted solutions meant to solve real, everyday friction. But here's the massive plot twist. On one side, you have completely flawless technology. The AI did exactly what it promised. But on the flip side, literally zero adoption. The small business community just didn't bite. Ultimately, the foundation was basically forced to drop their entire small business project. But why? How could something so genuinely useful and completely free be so thoroughly rejected? Which brings us to Section 2, the invisible wall of trust, and why free just isn't enough. To really wrap our heads around this, let's ground it in a real-world persona. Think about your local pressure washing guy. He's out there in the elements every single day running his own operation, and let's say he brings in about $60,000 a year. This is his livelihood, right? It puts food on the table, it pays his mortgage. And because his entire life is tied to the stability of that business, he is naturally deeply skeptical of anyone offering him something for free. And this brings up what we can call the pressure washer's dilemma. When this guy looks at a shiny new AI startup, he honestly doesn't care that the tool is free. He's looking at it thinking, is this startup even going to exist in 6 months? He's asking, where is my confidential client data actually going? I mean, think about it. He probably already uses QuickBooks. He probably hates it, and he definitely doesn't like paying $35 a month for it. But he uses it anyway because he trusts it. He knows it won't just disappear tomorrow. The risk of handing his business data over to some unknown free tool is just way too high. So this gets us to a really fundamental definition of trust. Trust is not a feature you can just code into your software. You can't just flip a switch. Trust is years of showing up in someone's daily life until they stop questioning your legitimacy. The AI Bridge Foundation learned this the absolute hard way. The education sector, they don't reflexively ask, what's the catch when you offer them a free learning tool? But small business owners have this invisible moat built around them to protect their livelihoods. So the foundation had to step back. Now for Section 3, Meta enters the chat, the August 19th plot twist. And then the plot thickens. A massive tech Goliath steps in and does exactly what the well-intentioned underdog couldn't. Meta AI's direct integration showed the sheer massive scale of the ecosystem they connected overnight. We're talking direct ties into Facebook pages for post engagement, Instagram business for customer DMs, ad campaigns for 90-day spend, even Google Workspace for operational docs. Meta totally bypassed that massive trust barrier because, well, users are already living inside these platforms every single day. That invisible moat we talked about, Meta was already inside the castle. Let's walk through how insanely easy this workflow is for a business owner now. Step 1. You just ask questions about your actual business in plain English. No coding, no weird prompts. Step 2, you get immediate, actionable summaries based on your actual real-time data. Step 3, you can just tell the AI to turn those answers into a spreadsheet, or maybe set up a recurring report that just hits your inbox every Monday morning. So instead of wrestling with static charts and a dozen clunky dashboards, the intelligence comes straight to you in a language you actually speak. This is exactly what true accessibility looks like for a business owner. And the absolute crux of why this works so well is this. Meta didn't build a new tool. They just made an existing relationship smarter. Business owners didn't have to go learn a whole new dashboard. They didn't have to go set up a brand new account with some startup they'd never heard of. They've been running their pages on Meta for years. They already trust it. They already check it while they're drinking their morning coffee. The adoption was completely frictionless because the relationship was already established.
Section 4. Palantir for the little guy. Scaling enterprise intelligence down.
Okay, this brings us to a really incredible concept. If you aren't familiar with Palantir, it's this massive software platform that enterprise giants literally pay millions of dollars for. Its whole purpose is to connect isolated data streams, stuff like inventory, staffing, customer feedback, and turn it into one living, breathing system. That level of operational intelligence is what separates massive scaling companies from companies that are essentially just guessing. Now, contrast that enterprise giant with a local two-person bakery. That bakery's never going to buy enterprise software. But with Meta AI, that exact same concept, raw, unified business intelligence, is delivered completely for free, right inside an app they already use every day. It's pretty mind-blowing.
I mean, just think about the raw material Meta already has sitting on its servers. They already know your customer engagement and reviews. They know exactly which products in your posts are getting the most eyeballs. They can literally see your peak operating hours based on when people are interacting, and they know exactly how a simple DM sequence eventually turns into a sale. Meta has always had these individual puzzle pieces of a dynamic business picture. August 19th was really just the first time they handed the user a free, AI-powered pen to finally connect those dots themselves.
Section 5, Leveling the Playing Field and the Future of Small Business AI. So where exactly do we go from here? Because social media analytics, that is just the starting line. Meta's unified infrastructure controls the underlying servers for Messenger, WhatsApp, Marketplace, and Instagram shopping. So this isn't just about knowing how many likes a reel got anymore. This is evolving into a unified business operating layer that handles your messaging, your commerce, and your payments, all in one single ecosystem.
And when you map out the natural trajectory of this, you see how fast it's going to build. Today, sure, we're looking at social media analytics and ad performance. But soon, the natural trajectory points straight toward AI automatically handling your customer DMs perfectly in your brand's voice. Or, wait for it, generating instant quotes from casual inquiries. Sound familiar? That is exactly the tool the AI Bridge Foundation originally built. And looking further into the future, as autonomous logistics get cheaper, this AI could literally manage your inventory and link your local storefront directly to distribution. And the craziest part of all of this? It requires zero new inventions. It is literally just connecting the assets that are already sitting there on Meta's servers.
Just paint this picture in your mind for a second. The one-person operation, waking up, having her morning coffee, and checking her phone at 6 a.m. before she goes to open her shop. Right there in the app she already lives in, she now holds the operational power of a highly paid marketing consultant, a dedicated data analyst, and the utility of like 3 separate software subscriptions, all completely free, all perfectly, seamlessly integrated into her daily routine. Which brings us to this incredibly triumphant resolution. The source material for today's explainer leaves us with this powerful thought. That levels the playing field. That is what actually matters. Not who builds the engine, but whether the people who need it are finally able to drive it. The AI Bridge Foundation set out with this deeply helpful, noble dream to empower the underdog. They built the tools, they really did, but they just couldn't crack that invisible wall of trust. Meta could. And because they did, that original, helpful dream of empowering the small business owner was actually ultimately realized. So the crucial point here, and it's honestly a fascinating balance of tech power to ponder, is this. Does it really matter who builds the AI as long as small businesses finally get to drive? The underdogs couldn't distribute the tech, but the Goliath ended up distributing the underdog's dream. Thank you so much for joining me and learning with me today on this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next one.